Alright guys and gals, welcome to round 2, game 5 of the Tiny Wars Open Tournament. I am Advanced Warrior.
And I'm CJ.
And we have to alter the way we explain the CO because MiniNini, player 1 black, versus Sliicer, player 2 green. They both picked, you saw on the top, Penny. Penny, all units are unaffected by weather. Units in the CO zone only get plus 10% offense and defense. Oh, I almost missed it. 50% boarding cost, zoning radius of 3, so it's large enough for you to have an easier time growing it. Expansion 3060, and the power randomly changes to weather conditions for 3 turns. CO zone is global. Half of this isn't true because it's a freaking penny mirror. As you can see, all the units on the map are going to be unaffected by weather. So if there was a power being used, I think the only thing that will ever happen is when it rains, it'll just set up Fog of War. Properties might have reduced vision though. We're not entirely sure. We were discussing this before we started recording.
Properties should have reduced vision, but other than that, like Fog of the Fog of War forced by rain would be exactly the same for the penny mirror.
Yeah, just Fog of War, but they're probably going to get normal vision, I think. We'll talk more about it if that ever happens, but let us begin Game 5.
Yep.
So, Penny, we've actually reviewed a private game on this map before, actually with a Penny, and we saw that Penny CO zone of 3 and the terrain allowed for a Penny copter to get a decent amount of charge because of the zone size and the air unit's ability to ignore terrain.
Yeah, like, yeah, a Penny CO, or a CO battlecopter would be pretty decent here. Yeah, I mean, we have that experience of seeing it, so we know that it works. But yeah, the most that you're gonna get from Penny in this game, or from Penny in this game, is just gonna be that 10-10 boost. So honestly, it's a little bit questionable how early you even need your CO to be out, because 10-10 is not a huge boost. It can enable or guarantee some one-shots that are like already really close, or just give you a slight edge. But other than that, like, it's not game-breaking, and when you use the CO power, you're just gonna get that 10-10 globally per turn for all your units.
With the exception of rain.
Yeah, so it's mostly gonna be the same. So, yeah, this is the only time where I would think, like, maybe you don't need to get your CO out that early.
No, maybe not that early, because you're giving your units 10-10 in the zone radius, but you also have to keep in mind the boarding cost. And I'm sorry that none of you guys at home can see this, neither can CJ, but I'm actually kind of bopping to this theme. Not as good as Wayland's, but looks like we got a city skip here. Fuck, who is it? I'm so sorry for cursing. Sliicer. Sliicer city skipping to try to get that property, which I think we said should belong to the 2-base side in one of our previous games.
That's generally gonna go to the 2-base player.
I disagree with this city skip personally, because unless Sliicer missed it, that interrupt was inevitable. It was easy for the bike. They have a lot of movement, and they're going to get that interrupt, and they get the first strike advantage too. And cities only give 2 terrain stars, not 3, so the defense is a bit worse. And the tank backup is coming, but Sliicer has skipped another city on the 1-base side and is going heavy tank.
Yeah, Sliicer with that
tank chain
double down there. Or I just meant, like, you know, bringing that was it the bike over there to kind of try to stay aggressive, I guess. I don't know. It's a little weird.
A little bit.
But I guess Sliicer kind of, at least for a brief moment, secures that area with the tank coming in, but I don't know if that gets them anywhere, because they're not getting those properties that they wanted to get anyways. So
they had to forfeit that radar, and only the bike in the back can go for a 2-turn capture. I think that bike next to that CO zone tank could also maybe go for that property, like in the middle-ish between the one base side in the middle of Sliicer here. But it looks like we're seeing a bit more of a little more conventional, and uses the recon that is able to block the interrupt. Unfortunately, though, that artillery isn't covering that recon, but there's nothing threatening that recon at this moment because mechs only have 2 move.
Yeah. Overall, though, MiniNini has a pretty good position here. Sliicer went for those aggressive moves early, but I don't think they will pay off. They'll be able to get that city on the right for briefly, but that radar will go uncaptured, probably.
Definitely.
Yeah, because he can interrupt that.
Then the artillery moves in. It can tuck behind those mountains. That road that's like, you know, between the 2 mountains right above the radar, just put 1 infantry there. It can only be attacked from 1 angle because there's no infantry or mechs or air units on Sliicer's side to even attack from a mountain. And I like the artillery positioning from MiniNini here, putting that bike under the protection of that artillery if that radar were to get interrupted. Sliicer could probably interrupt the radar on the left, but yeah, Sliicer respecting the artillery and letting the radar capture happen.
Yeah, I think MiniNini overall there was just generally with his positioning was kind of baiting any of those units from the 1 base side to just like suicide or trade basically. But that's not going to happen because trades overall on the right side are good for MiniNini considering it's their 2 base side. But yeah, Sliicer does not take that trade, which is good. They shouldn't have.
And again, we are seeing the CO zone on the 1 base side of both of the players here. A little interesting to me because, like, I'm a bit used to seeing, a strong side. You want to put like the most amount of forces again. And are we experiencing deja vu? That artillery, technically a base skip, just took a free shot on that bike.
Well, then that's not a free shot, but it is a shot, and it is probably worth it.
Probably worth it. Drain some funds for Sliicer there, and also forces it to move back. And I can see MiniNini being able to cover the capture for that city, which we agreed should have been the 2 base side, but right now we're seeing the 1 base side owning those contested properties. Well, maybe not contested, but definitely one of the trickier ones to get.
Yeah, I mean, we would expect that one to flip, even if it doesn't start out that way. And so yeah, it's just gonna happen. Is that B-copter in range of those other 2 copters?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is not. It is not.
It's not. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. MiniNini is very much aware. I've played against MiniNini. Very, very strong player. Buster did not play whack. I hope you're hearing this, Buster. MiniNini is a very good player. And looks like we're seeing some blocking. No, not blocking. Trap. Is it a trap? Wait. Oh, it is a trap.
Yeah, a trap.
Oh, wow. For some reason, I thought one of the battlecopters belonged to the other players, but wow, that is... All right, eat them up, boys. That's energy.
So MiniNini did kind of wonder that.
MiniNini's playing whack.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was just kidding.
Actually throwing, what are you doing?
What are you doing? MiniNini getting wrecked right now. Not really.
Yeah.
It is a copter that MiniNini's losing, but it is making 2 copters spend their time trying to damage that. And oh, look, we got a duster.
What is happening here? Why are they doing this? Oh, the
Yes.
Wait, what is mini? Oh, okay. That works. I was gonna say for a second that MiniNini missed a blocking opportunity because I thought they were gonna do it with the bike, but they ended up doing it with the infantry, which I think works better.
I think both of us are just having a hard time trying to piece things together because they're both penny, and yeah, we're already confused about what the matchup is going to look like when it comes to weather. But yeah, we are okay, guys. Thank you for your concern. So it looks like Sliicer has control of the middle and has completely abandoned the right side. Abandoned the right side, but it's not hard for them to move back to that one base side because, like we said, the one base side has so little terrain compared to the two base side. They'll be able to reinforce that front pretty easily, but will it be too late though? Let's see how MiniNini.
I think Sliicer might just go for an all-in here. This is actually really interesting. I never expected this.
Oh, a pincer! We got a pincer strike going on, and we got. Let's see here. We got that infantry threatening two properties. That radar is getting captured by the mech. A little weird to see him mech capturing, but it was the only one that was in range to capture that radar. I'm curious where MiniNini is going to put the second artillery. That first artillery that's already used up in action is covering that radar, so that artillery could maybe find something better to do. Is that anti-air in range? Hold on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that anti-air was in range of like possibly a tank, and then it's just like, you know, it's just like free reign for those copters on the other side.
This is kind of interesting. I think MiniNini has a very clear advantage here, but Sliicer has this really interesting like all-in kind of move, just going straight for the left side.
MiniNini's doing a pincer strike on not exactly towards the HQ, kinda is, but they are slowly starting to surround the units that are like far up that one base side. So let's see how MiniNini possibly gets out of this. 3 artillery, but that artillery can move, so it might be in a better position. Oh my god, what is this game, CJ?
Yeah, oh dude, I have no idea.
Oh my god, this is getting exciting. Oh my god.
I think the MVP of this game for MiniNini will actually be that rig. I'm not even joking. That rig is gonna pay dividends, and I don't even think he planned that. Because he can just dump the unit next to the HQ.
Or like put Mini, please put a unit between the two cities there. I'm pretty sure it can block that bike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they might be able to block that bike. I mean, okay, that's fine. Artillery coverage, great. That bike will die if it goes for an interrupt, but MiniNini is allowing themselves to get 2 of the 3 properties if Sliicer does go for that interrupt. And here we're starting to see...
Wait, have you gotten confused? Like, who's who?
MiniNini is going to get 2 of the 3 properties if Sliicer throws a bike there to interrupt the capture. And, so we saw like a bunch of units that are like kind of starting to like, you know, encircle MiniNini's forces, but MiniNini is holding out, and Sliicer's going all in right now. Let's see, and that penny unit is dead. Oh my god!
I don't know if that had that much value, but if Sliicer's CO survives, we might see a CO power.
It's probably not going to survive. I'm just going to say, what the hell is this game, bro?
This is certainly something.
Oh my god, all those units, they're not from the 2 base side. They're all coming from the 1 base side. And it's slowly starting to look like... Oh my god. I said earlier, Sliicer could bring those middle units back towards the 1 base side to defend, but no. Sliicer went all in. That's the skeleton crew. Look at the units that Sliicer has to defend the HQ, and look what's coming towards the oh no, the penny is dead. Sliicer's penny is dead. I cannot process this game right now. Oh my god, it's like I think Sliicer went too deep. Sliicer went too deep. There's so many units. Overwhelming. They have to defend from the invasion, guys. It's called defend from the invasion, not be the aggressive and take the invasion. Oh my god, Sliicer should have moved those units back. 100% should have moved those units back.
I think the right play in a like calculated sense is to probably keep your units back. But Sliicer was already at a disadvantage for a while now. And so I think going for that heavy gamble was kind of like, I mean, it made the game super interesting.
Oh my god.
I personally think, like, I never would have done that. I never would have thought to do that, but I think it had, well, I don't know. It maybe had more chance. But I mean, they were already disadvantaged for a long time. So
I want to go through a quick scroll of this, if you excuse me. Just like going the not. I want to go by the turn by turn, and just like watch this all unfold. But yeah, if you have anything that you would like to point out, now would be a good time for you.
Yeah, I think that was just a really interesting push in general. They did have a lot of power, but I guess like the reinforcements, especially a lot of those air units, were really strong. I think.
Oh, this was a turn right here.
I think Sliicer is kind of lacking in anti-air actually, and MiniNini just had a lot of air units coming out near the end, because like there were a lot of forces coming at MiniNini just to the HQ, but then also a lot of them were like bikes and infantry. So and tanks. There's a lot of tanks, but there's not too many AAs, and so I think, yeah, MiniNini's composition was just able to be reinforced by a lot of air units. And then meanwhile on the right side, most of the right side was like also a lot of infantry, with the backing of arties, so they couldn't really be stopped. So Sliicer just went, screw it, whatever, we're just gonna go in. And
oh my god,
that was an admirable move. But yeah, I don't know. I think that could work out sometimes. I think if someone is not prepared for them, they might get overwhelmed and then they might blunder.
Oh my god. CJ, I need a moment to breathe. Oh my god, I almost got out of my seat for this game. Oh my gosh. There was just so much green. The green wave just coming over. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You want to go not all in, but you definitely want to, like, you know, be on the offensive on the one base side towards the HQ. But I definitely would have liked to maybe see a bit more of a better skeleton crew to defend the one base side. Like,
I don't think it would have mattered, or at least at this point, I feel like Sliicer didn't care, which is fine. Like, if you think that you're probably already gonna lose, yeah, just go for some silly stuff and see what happens. Sometimes it could work. Sometimes you trip up your opponent so bad.
Oh, 5 income.
They don't even know what the heck's going on.
5 income. Holy crap.
Yeah, I think the point of this push was just to see, can I break MiniNini?
It was a gamble.
Yeah, and it didn't pay off, but it was fun.
It was fun. All right. So I'll let you talk about the rig, but first I do want to talk about the city skips that were happening. Sliicer had a chance to get this city and had a chance to get this radar. I 100% do not agree with going for the city here because it was just going to get interrupted regardless. So I would have maybe liked to see this being captured and then going for the radar. I don't think Sliicer had the radar at all, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm looking at that radar. They never got that radar.
Yeah, they sacrificed getting that radar to go for the city, which didn't really work out.
This was something similar to a game I had not too long ago on Advanced Wars by Web, and it was the fact that I was throwing in units and I was getting the property, but I was losing units at the same time. So you're gonna have to weigh out, is losing those units worth getting that property? And in this position, it's probably very hard to even keep that property, so I personally would say no. All right, so you said you wanted to talk about this rig here.
Oh, that was like, well, okay. So first, yeah, continuing on, yeah, because you're not expected to get this property, or at least you're not expected to keep it. It might be a little bit lower priority because you would have to commit a lot of resources to keep it. And on your one base side, you don't want to trade. I think we talked about this a little bit in the map review, but you don't want to trade on your one base side because it's a lot easier for your opponent to reinforce, at least numbers wise, than it is for you, obviously, because it is your one base side. Yeah, going on to the rig. Typically, you don't see rigs a lot, and honestly, I don't think it was even that useful. But I did have, I did kind of fanboy about it because I thought it would be really funny if MiniNini, because all of these units were just leaving. So I thought it would be really funny if the rig basically carried a unit on what this turn, right? MiniNini's turn, carry like this mech over to here, because I mean, yeah, there's stuff blocking the way, but hey, like you get really close, you're threatening the cap. That's really fun.
Yeah, it is kind of fun, but I would say that Sliicer does have a decent amount of units, like those 5 units, like back here. Yeah, they can all like go back, and it probably. It's kind of like the same situation, excuse me, CJ. It's kind of like the same situation that was up here. MiniNini has the opportunity to get these properties, and they were going to get 2 out of the 3 properties because they blocked it here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if like the rig was maybe here, then yeah, if the no, the bike couldn't. I'm so sorry, guys. The bike couldn't even interrupt. So. MiniNini knew that they were going to get these 3 properties. Had they gone for that HQ push, which would have been absolutely bonkers, but we already had enough bonkerness from this side over here. It would have been absolutely bonkers, but MiniNini was kind of playing it safe and gave themselves a huge advantage in income. And then they were just able to hold off the offensive force that was over here. Sadly, we didn't get to see any penny powers.
Yeah. And yeah, again, as I was saying earlier, the real thing that stopped this push, I mean, this push did look at the surface kind of overwhelming, but then when you look at how many B-copters MiniNini is able to just push out, then...
Let's see here. 3 B-copters and a duster against 3 B-copters and 1 anti-air. That is not covering...
1 anti-air here, 1 here.
Okay,
so...
2 anti-airs that aren't even covering like the main, like the furthest units up here. It's just a minor, like, you know, micromanagement, macromanagement thing. Always at least like protect your units, but when you're going on the offensive, I can understand why it's a little bit harder to do that, because you're putting your units in positions to attack. They're taking damage from counterattacks, and they might not be able to hold or defend like a wall. Because they're already, you know, in the middle of a fight. So this anti-air not covering like say these 3 bikes over here. Wait, no. Yeah, it doesn't cover like the 3 bikes and the 2 tanks. That's understandable because it's the middle of a fight.
Yeah, but I think the reason why your one base side, your one base side is weaker, but you can't underestimate the power that is the airport. That's, you know, the only airport that you have. So MiniNini understandably I feel like if you're in Sliicer's position, you need to expect that MiniNini is just going to keep churning out B-copters. So if you were going to do that push, or if you are planning to do that push, probably bring along maybe a little bit more of the anti-airs. Or yeah, your prep force should have a little bit more anti-airs in there. But also, Sliicer was just down in income, which is why they, you know, had to make a desperate push anyways. So yeah, it's kind of hard. But yeah, if you ever, I guess, intend to do a push like this on a map like this, where it's like, you know, 1 base, 2 base, you know, typically because the airport is usually on the 1 base side, you gotta watch out for that type of thing. You gotta watch out for the fact that they're probably gonna spam air units, because that is what will reinforce them the fastest.
Yeah, it was kind of like a deep push, maybe overextending as well. Because, yeah, these 2 bikes were just in copter range to be attacked. Although, wait, this is Sliicer's turn. So, yeah, this is very, very deep. And the anti-air here, I think could have maybe moved up further. But there's, like, maybe the potential of tanks coming in to completely wreck it, which is why you want to build a lot of anti-airs for a huge amount of air units that you see. Also, when I saw this rig, I was kind of thinking, what if a transport copter did some transport shenanigans and like somehow found itself in the middle and then like put itself over here and like just started ferrying like infantry like over the sea. I thought that would have been kind of funny to see, but at that point, a decent amount of your tempo is probably lost.
Yeah, I mean, I think T-Copter can work on this map, but it usually takes really long because you gotta bring your T-Copter all the way to the other side to actually help. But yeah,
I need a moment to breathe after this game, but thankfully we're done recording for the night. But I'm probably gonna look back at the recording and just look at how loud I probably was at this game. Hope I wasn't too loud, but I think as CJ says, I kind of bring the energy and excitement. CJ is more of the analytical mind and has the better game sense than me. But, you know, I guess two peas in a pod. You know, fire and ice. That's what we are.
Yeah, this is a good game.
This was a great
got pretty
game.
excited too, so...
I almost jumped out of my seat, bro. But, so MiniNini moves on to round 3 of the tournament. Very good attempt from Sliicer. Thank you for participating in this tournament. And if I haven't said it, thanks to everyone who pretty much participated in this tournament. Thanks to everyone who's been watching and supporting, giving feedback. I love to hear that. But this is unfortunately the end of another match in the Tiny Wars Open Tournament. Feel free to view, like, comment, subscribe if you're interested for more. We're definitely going to have more games coming out in this tournament. I am Advanced Warrior.
And I'm CJ.
And you all have our warmest regards. Please take care.
Thanks for watching.
Ciao, ciao.